Okay, so I have a few different observations I'm going to talk about, but none of them really warrant a whole long thing. So I'm going to kind of lump them all in together. And one of the things is that there is this movie, I have it on. It's called the Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover. And it is this really old movie. Let's see if I can see even what year it was. Because it's like 30 years old, I would say. It is 1989. Oh, yeah. Because that was like back when I was going out in Hollywood and stuff like that. So 1989. And when this movie came out, it just came into my head the other day. I was talking about something with somebody and it popped into my head. And it was like, oh my gosh, that movie, I used to put it on like if it was like my seduction movie. You know, if somebody came over, it's like, do you want to come over and watch a movie? And it was like, I thought it was just like super sexy. And so I was like, I wonder what I would think of that movie now. And so my brother put it on and I started to watch it the other day and I was like, oh my God, this movie's so weird. How in the hell? And I turned it off after like 10 minutes or something. I was like, okay, I'm not in the mood for this. And so I thought this morning, I'm going to put it on. I was just listening to music and dancing and stuff. And then I'm going to put this movie on as a background and just like kind of watch it. And when I did, because I kind of wanted to see like, what did I like about it so much? But when I went on to do it, I saw it says NC-17 is the rating. Like anybody who remembers about that, it was like, well, we can't rate it X, but we can't rate it R. So we have to rate it something new. So they came up with this new rating, NC-17. And was it like, I'm pretty sure NC-17 was like you had to be like an adult. R, I swear they had it like a 15-year-old could watch it. Now it's down, I don't know. I think 9-year-olds watch R. But I think 3-year-olds watch R. Like, I think R doesn't make a shit. But anyways, the thing is so when I had this on in the background and I noticed NC-17, so then I'm like, okay, I thought this was super seductive movie. And the rating obviously shows hardcore sex is going to be going on, right? So far, it is nothing. I mean, there is nothing. But now we've gone 30 years further, right? So now, I mean, you turn on the TV and you see dick stuff all over the place. Whether it's fake dicks or real dicks, real boobs, whatever. Just constantly. And hardcore sex. Like, hardcore sex. And the only thing that they are missing in most movie scenes of sex is the actual, the differences in the porn. They get right up there and show you, the action shot. So that's the only difference. They show everything in movies. But, this was rated NC-17. This was like, whoa, super extreme. It's nothing compared to what we have now on TV. So go in and watch it. Go in and watch some old NC-17 and see, what do you think? And, speaking of the whole thing with all of the illusion and the media and all of the bullshit, how it's, none of it's real. It's just there to perpetuate fear and hopelessness. Definitely helpless. But, all of the bullshit. And like right now, I said how many of the commercials that are just like, oh, you got to send money. Oh, these poor people, they're just ravaged. And it went straight from, what was it? It went from Syria to another one. And then now it's Ukraine. But I swear this morning they were showing another one too. And I can't remember what, but they just cycle through all the different places. And like I had said before, I had seen where they do it in other countries about America. I've seen the commercials that show us as being like, oh, we're so poor, we're not taken care of, I mean, people are starving, which is all true. But to the degree that, I mean, the money's not going to the people. They're not sending this money down to the homeless shelters or any of that stuff. This, when I was even talking to my friend in Australia, Stella's just right out of my feet. Today she's having a very emotional day. We've been up since most of the night. um, but she was reminding me of the bushfire, how many millions and millions of dollars that people had donated, and none of it went to the people. None of it went to the animals. None of it went to the country. It all went to the fire stations because it all goes back to the government. It's all just a funnel system of how they get money. Just like all of this money that was given through, I don't know, a couple of different donation organizations. One of them was that one that so many people use. Oh my gosh, Stella, you're so dramatic. Just get up there. The GoFundMe, and it took, I think they had 9 million in that, and the government took that, and then they had another one, and then they took that. They had so much money that was going towards these people who were out there, you know, for them to eat and be able to stay on the line, and they took it, and they take all of the money. So when you're donating, like, because they work on our sympathy, like they make us feel like shit and make us feel helpless, like we can't do anything. They shove it down our throats on TV. And then people are just like, I don't know what else to do. I'm so upset. You know, I'm just going to put a donation. But the donations don't go to any of the places. And especially see through it when they're hitting us so hard. Don't believe this stuff. Like this morning I saw on the news going straight across now that the nuclear is about to go. Putin's threatening us with nuclear. Like, okay, this guy is not going to freaking destroy the whole damn globe. The globe. He's not going to destroy the whole earth, this whole reality. The aliens won't even let him. You can't put nuclear stuff off. They will stop it. You can't. So, but when you understand about what's going on here, then, you know that it's all bullshit. Besides this mainstream media who are pumping this up to scare people. Plus, just all of it is an illusion. All of it is fake. None of it's real. And whatever is happening is not what they're telling us. And so if it is that he's saying, I'm going to set off nuclear, like if he's actually, the words are coming out of his mouth, it's because he's trying to provoke the other side into revealing itself. This is all about the big reveal. This is all to show who's the good guys and who's the bad guys. Which, one of the things too is I saw somebody, you've got the celebrities, they are part of the system. They have to do what they're told. Like, this is like they're locked into contracts and whatever. So they have to say whatever they're told to say. And they're told to push an agenda. They're in there to, help us choose which side to be on. It's all very underhanded how the cabal does this. But you got to remember, don't go in and say, oh, well, this celebrity that I really like, they're telling me this, so this must be true. You can't believe any of it. You can't believe any of this stuff because the celebrities are forced or paid or sold out or whatever to promote the narrative. It doesn't mean the narrative is right. It doesn't mean that it's authentic. It doesn't mean it's real. It's just a part of this matrix. It's a part of this system. So you can't trust any of that stuff. This is all like learning to not trust the 3D and learning to trust your inner knowing. The seeing through the illusion is seeing the bullshit. That's all nonsense. It's nothing's real. So that you can detach from it. Because when you move into, like what I was talking about yesterday, moving into your heart space, then it gives you different insight. You're more communicating with your soul. You're getting out of your head and communicating with your inner knowing, your inner knowledge. And it's more vulnerable. It'll make you feel more crazy because you don't have something in front of you to where you have a three-dimensional thing that says that you're right. And we depend on that. That's part of this system, this part of the dependence, and that is why it's such a transition to move into your heart space, your inner knowing, your trust, belief in your soul and your guidance, rather than what you're being shown with your eyes, because that is the illusion. That is the trickery that they are doing on our minds. And another thing too that I forgot, I don't think I had said yet, but so this whole weird thing happened. When my daughter was here, we were in a conversation or something came up, and she said, "What's going on with your case?" And she goes, "I'm going to go look up and see, what your attorney's doing." So when she looked it up, she's like, "Oh, well, I guess nothing's going on with your case because your attorney is losing her license because she's been funneling money from what the people have won in their cases, funneling it into her bank, and what is that? Embezzling from money that people won in court cases." And so there was some prosecution going on. So she, gave up her license. And so I don't know what's going on, because I do know how much stuff is fake, and they will take down people on purpose, and they can easily make that stuff up. So I don't know. She was like the only attorney who was taking on all the doctors, and she was a nurse who went back to school, became an attorney, and so she knew stuff. And so she was helping people with malpractice and negligence and stuff on medical. And then it got to the point where she was like outcast in the town. Like she couldn't go to a doctor or anything because it's total big boys club there. And that's where I started seeing, I saw with the medical, I saw through that illusion, I saw these people are not here for us. I saw it when I was working. I saw it being a patient. I saw it, from every angle. I felt, "Stella, just a minute." She's having a bad day. It's really rainy and stuff. And so then and then going to court, I saw all through, I saw people on the stand put their hand on a Bible and then lie right through their teeth. I was like, this is some fucking bullshit. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe this. They had altered my files. I just couldn't believe the shit. I was like, this is so fucking bullshit. None of these systems are here for us. None of them are here to protect us. None of them are here to help us. So yeah, I don't know, what is going on with her, if it's real, if she really was embezzling. I know that she had reached some hard times with her. She had married some older guy and he got Alzheimer's, and she was struggling with that. So, desperation can make people do crazy stuff. I can't judge her for whatever she's done. It releases me from the guilt of how much money she spent on my case. And obviously my case isn't going to go forward. It's, lost in the shuffle of crime. But, one thing I do know and I do trust is the universe will always give us what we need, what we deserve, what is owed to us, especially in this, when it circles back, circling back, when it goes back, the boomerang goes back the other direction. Because I think right now we're in that switch where we're going to feel this energy go the other direction, where it's going to start going for us instead of against us. But, we've got this drama that's going to go on because, like I said, I think it's going to be that Hawaii moment where everybody's going to think like, oh my God, we're about to die. Because that is what makes you feel the most alive. It makes you appreciate life. It makes you really, like I've said before, if somebody's suicidal, have somebody come in their house, attack them, and see if they don't all of a sudden fight for their life. They get a new charge on, do I really want to die? No, I don't think so. And how many people are just like, oh, thank you. Thanks for coming in to murder me today. I was planning on murdering myself later today. So thanks for dropping by. I don't think that happened. I think it would be much more of fight for your life, and all of a sudden be like, oh my God, that was a near escape. I can't believe it. And that's what is happening for consciousness, to get pulled free from this system. So they have that wake up moment of what the fuck, because that is how you pull free from this whole fucking thing. And So, you know, we're headed to some more dramas. Obviously, we got all the fucking weather. They're siphoning money from us, you know, at such a hardcore pace. I think they're trying to, you know, keep afloat, but they have nothing to back their money up. So it's all just games, you know, doesn't matter. They're just playing a bunch of moving numbers game. None of it's real. This is all still a part of them and their whole system collapsing. So, you know, it's going to keep going. You know, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I mean, the drama is building. And it is obvious that, you know, stuff is going to start going a lot more extreme. I mean, all the way across my thing, it was like that he's threatening nuclear, blah, 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 blah. Every single thing was nuclear, nuclear, nuclear. You know, and I don't know how much of the news is just to try and scare us that we're in a panic, and how much of it is, you know, really going on. I just know that it's not really going to go on. So it's all an illusion. And the more you detach from the bullshit, like I said, don't get caught up in watching the stuff that they're saying, because it's all lies. It's all to fuck with your head. Deal with what is in your orbit, what is going on around you. You know, what is going on in your community? What is going on in your family, with your friends? That's the stuff that is here to help trigger you and promote growth. The stuff that's going on outside, we use it as a distraction. So we need to detach from that, you know. What's happening in other people's lives, you know, it drives us to be sympathetic and want to help and want to give money and clothes and whatever we can do to give. We want to help. And, you know, they feed off of that. They feed off of that energy. And the only way to not get yourself to feel that way is just to turn it off, unplug, you know, stay off of all of the bullshit, because it's all just to fuck with your head. And the most important thing that is happening right now is not what's happening in Ukraine, not what's happening in China, not what's happening in Canada, not what's happening in the US, Australia, none of the places, unless you are in that community. If you're in that community, then everything happening in that situation is to promote your healing, your growth, your expansion. And we're all going to go through all different things. Some of us being hit by weather nonstop. You know, and some people are being hit. Like right now, Australia's flooding. And my friend said that never happens. They've got floods just like what was here. She says it's been torrential downpour for 2 weeks. She's like, this is not natural. But her and I both know, like, this is all weather manipulation. They do, however they do it, if they do it with the chemicals they put in the sky, whatever they're doing it, you know, because it's all their campaign to siphon more money from us, because climate change, you know, is out to get us. The planet hates us. So anyways, it's all just their bullshit, their nonsense. But the more you detach from all the bullshit, all the nonsense, and don't go and be like, well, you know, Joe Blow, he says, you know, blah, 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 and I trust him because he's always been honest or whatever. It's all an illusion. There's nobody you can trust. Only thing you can trust is your inner knowing, and it takes a lot to move from here to here. So it is that detachment from the system to help you move into your heart space so that you can understand what is going on from your soul's perspective, because everything is all just to move us into this new age. It's all part of the transition. So, you know, again, I'll just say, just focus on working on yourself. Don't get caught up, you know, like, I'm not going to fear like, oh, my case, now I'm fucked, you know, my disability will run out. I'm not going to even, no. Because it's all just to trap us in fear. And I know it's an illusion. And I know everything is going to work out. And it's going to be better. It's going to be better than we can even imagine. So don't get caught up in, you know, oh, there's just no job. Oh, I'm going to lose my home or whatever the stuff. If you're anything you're losing, it's because it's time to move in a different direction. And this is just the universe pushing you where you need to go. And like, I know somebody right now, and there's just like everything they try, it just goes south. And, you know, they're feeling super defeated. But all of that is to push you onto the path you're supposed to be on. And when you keep thinking up here, what's the path? Then you're not feeling in here. When you feel in here and you connect in here, then you start seeing things differently, because you're thinking, what should I do? How should I do it? And you're being logical, but this is not about that. This is about connecting to our soul and learning how to live from that and move out of this three-dimensional manipulation matrix controlled center, whatever you want to think of it as. So anyways, just don't get defeated feeling. Don't get hopeless feeling. Don't feel like that there's, a special pill to save you. That everything is about expansion of self. So just work on you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.